Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 where I am continuing to discuss my top 6 favorite manufacturers that are current. I say top 6, I'm not ordering them, I'm just going alphabetical here because ranking things has always been a bit difficult for me to do. It's hard to decide. So anyways, the only thing that I do know is who is number 1, and that is actually who we're talking about right now, and that is Hinckley. Now, Hinckley, I wouldn't even be talking about a few years ago because Hinckley was around. Yes, they've been around for 100 years. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary. So, congrats, guys. I think the products are great. But, anyways, yeah, they weren't in the fan business until they bought Regency back in 2019. Now, at the time, I was very distraught. I was very upset. I wasn't happy at all because I loved my Regency. And chances are, if Hinckley wasn't on this list and I recorded this a bit ago, Regency probably would have been instead. Well, granted, my Cabana is a big disappointment. That's one fan out of many that they've offered. Anyways, so yeah, I was pretty upset. But then, all of a sudden, out came the first Hinckley fan catalog. And oh my god, my opinion changed just like that. I can't snap my fingers too well. But anyways, yeah, it changed just like that. They took all the old Regency designs that they want to work with, redid them, put their finishes on them, changed them just a little bit, and in some ways I think they improved them. For example, I'm not even going to pull out the catalog, but the Gladiator. So, a long time ago, this fan had vents on it, and then they took the vents away, and I personally preferred the fan with the vents. I don't know about everybody else, but I did definitely prefer that fan with the vents. But then Hinckley brought the vents back. So, like they did some great stuff in that regard. And they did really well. And what I can appreciate, I didn't really talk about this, but when Craftmade was bought by Litex, they didn't axe a lot of the Craftmades. They kept most of them on. I mean, granted, they did continue like 17 or 18 in the... I actually know. Well, actually, it took them a year, so technically they did. Yeah, they did axe quite a few, but it took them a while, and then there were still quite a few that were left over. And I can't say that every single one of them was a bestseller either. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Hinckley got rid of most of the stuff. Now, most of those old fans, while they were awesome, are now gone, and they now have all the current Hinckley stuff. They've got new builder things. They've got new, well, really, they've got new everything. A few fan names that stayed was like the Tropic Aire, the Hover, of course. The Tropic Aire stayed fairly similar to the old one. The Hover definitely got a big redesign. And I think the Bimini stayed as well, which is that big sail-y three-blade looking one. So a few of them definitely stayed, but a lot of them were discontinued, which I feel like is pretty good because you've got to do your own thing. I mean, sure, you could take credit for everyone else's work, but the thing with Hinckley is their lighting designs are terrific, and I eventually I did start to get pretty excited because I figured, well, if their lighting designs are good, the fans are going to be good, right? And boy, was I right. And not only this, but Hinckley is actually at the top of the industry right now. Before that, it used to be Kichler. And then, I don't know who would have been before them. At one point, I'm pretty sure that Murray Feist is at the top of the industry. Obviously, they didn't always do fans. But, like, there's always a manufacturer who is at the top. And maybe even Minka was for a little bit. But anyways, yeah, like I said, the previous one was Kichler. A lot of the showrooms feel like they've been taking some dips in quality. And I don't know if anyone's talked about this, but from what I've heard, 1 in 3 Kichler fans have been sent back defective, actually, from one of the local stores here. Well, about 1 in 3, obviously. That's a probability sort of thing, so it's not always going to be exact. But, yeah, I mean, that's not good. Whereas Hinckley, I haven't heard many complaints about it that weren't just a part of a design that all the other manufacturers deal with. So, in the end, really, Hinckley is really awesome. Their designs look terrific. The quality is good. I sold a Metro. That's one of their newer. I would say that's their more upgraded looking builder fan. Anyways, yeah, actually, I don't really know. Honestly, all their builder type fans from their Regency collection. Oh, that's something else I like. They kept the Regency name for something. But anyways, yeah, none of the builders look too builder now, which is kind of nice. They all look a bit more upgraded and nice, and I can appreciate that. But anyways, yeah, I sold one of those, and I also got to experience one of the Chisel fans close up, and one of the biggest things that I found about that fan that was just very important to me and always has been is the blade quality. Now, this fan is a damp rated fan, and usually damp or outdoor, like wet rated fans, the blade quality just isn't as good because it's like plastic with just simulated finish overlay or something because, it's outdoor. Like, if I were to install my craft made decorative outside, I'm just saying that because that's literally the fan above me and that's all I can think of right now. But anyways, yeah, if I installed that outside, oh yeah, the blades would be ruined pretty quick. I've seen some fans installed outdoors, not like literally fans that aren't even getting rained on. Like these fans, the blades look better, but they're gonna get damaged eventually, you know. However, Hinckley's, though, the point I'm trying to make is that Hinckley's blades, despite being outdoor blades, they feel really good. And only a few other manufacturers can hop up to that. And I'll be talking about one of them shortly, probably in the next video, actually. But yeah, I think that's really awesome. The quality is great. And I've also got to experience the Sawyer Fandelier in person, and that is absolutely terrific. And it reminds me of the old Candelier from Casablanca. And with the bigger motor and the bigger blades, that fan moves tons of air and it still looks really good. Not to mention, at the price point, isn't even that terrible either. It's like $700, I think. And well, yeah, that's expensive. Keep in mind, take a look at some of the other Fandelier manufacturers out there like Maxim. Those things are tiny. Well, yeah, they move air. Not as much air as this fan, and those are like $2,000. Granted, they've got Wi-Fi features, but I think, if I remember right, I think this fan's got some sort of smart capabilities, and I can look through the catalog actually because I've got it right here. Well, I say catalog, this is the supplement. But yeah, they've got the Wi-Fi module for this fan. This is the fan I'm talking about, by the way. Anyways, yeah, I just think that's awesome. Hinckley is really great. They're on the top of the industry, and I don't feel like enough people talk about them, and I never see enough of them in person. And I rarely see anybody post about them. I rarely see any inspiration photos with Hinckley fans in it. And I find that strange because Hinckley's definitely at the top right now. And I have a feeling that the lighting is getting a lot of the focus. But I think that we should be giving equal focus to the fans because they really made a wonder. Most of the fan company buyouts that I would say are terrible. Emerson, well, we all know what's going on with them now. That was covered in my previous discussion video. And Casablanca and Hunter. Oh God, I don't even need to mention that. But however, Hinckley and Regency, I would say the one that worked out because it's terrific. And I should be a little bit more clear. I'm not talking about some big corporation just buying the company and things staying mostly business as usual. I mean, totally changed. The line changes. Everything changes. I would say that definitely Hinckley and Regency get the win for that because they did absolute wonders. And now I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next manufacturer because that's enough for Hinckley. And the next manufacturer is Minka Aire. Now, Minka Aire for a while was actually, I think, on the top of the industry now that I'm remembering it right. Well, not just Minka Aire, but just Minka as a group, because there's Minka Lavery, Minka Aire, George Kovacs, Metropolitan, and then the Great Outdoors, which is like the outdoor lighting. And then they did have the ambience lamp collection as well for a while. But yeah, Minka Lavery was actually started from Lavery and Company, which was like Casablanca Lighting or something. I don't remember how Minka fans got started. I remember hearing something about that, but no, I can't remember. But yeah, Minka Aire has always had some really awesome designs. And something that I can appreciate is some of these fans are so good, they sold them consecutively for like 20 years. And there's only a couple other manufacturers like that. And yeah, like some of these fans have literally been around for ages. Like the concept line is still selling today. I even had one in my room when I first moved into this house like 6-7 years ago. And it was pretty good. And while sure the outdoor blade quality isn't the best, and overall I wouldn't consider the quality on these fans the top, they're pretty good. You've got some really nice designs. I really do quite like the Fandeliers that they've introduced as well for this year. Or I should say Airedeliers, actually, because Minka Aire's got air in the name, and so they were able to come up with Airedeliers, which is quite, well, I can't really say unique since everybody's doing something with the Delier now with fans. But, you know, Airedeliers, you know, good wordplay there with their company name and everything. But yeah, I really do like those and a lot of the other designs. And they're still going and refreshing stuff. And something that Fanimation is moving away from, I can't remember if I talked about this, but they're slowly moving away from a lot of the old classic unique designs, whereas Minka, they've still got a few of them. They've still got some of them around because they've been selling so well. And that's also really, really awesome. And yeah, I've definitely noticed a few things where Minkas are definitely not on the top. and a few annoying things about them. But overall, I still am putting Minka on this list because they, at the end of the day, they do have some pretty unique designs and some other stuff. And here's a bit of a tidbit I don't know how many people know. It had been going around the industry for a while that it was possible that Ferguson was going to try to buy Minka Group, and that has happened. So, and I'm talking about Ferguson Enterprises, like the plumbing and all, you know, Ferguson, they've got all the Ferguson showrooms and stuff. But yeah, they bought Minka, and as far as I'm aware, it's going to sort of be like business as usual. Like they're just like kind of like a holding company or something. Look, I'm no business major, but I have a feeling they're not going to be changing a whole lot as of right now. That's what I think. But yeah, so that's just a little bit of an interesting piece of information I thought I would throw in there for you as well. But yeah, Minka's line is absolutely awesome. They've always had some cool, unique designs. Back in the day, they had a lot more traditional. Now they're definitely doing a lot more modern. And quite a few of my favorite ceiling fans have actually been made by Minka, like the Classic or Classique from Minka. That was one of their first fans that was introduced in the 90s, discontinued in 2010. Well, I believe 1993 to 2010 was its runtime, which is pretty good. But anyways, yeah, that's one of my favorite fans, and I really want to find one someday. And then the Iconic, this fan did not last for very long, but it has always been one of my favorite designs. It's in the 2015 and 2016 catalog, so if anybody wants to see what just Google a Minka Aire Iconic, and I'm sure you'll find it. It's a cool looking fan, absolutely love it. And then of course the concepts are always really cool. I'm actually going to be getting a concept and a couple Delanos pretty soon, actually, from the showroom that's closing. And the reason I can tell you this is because they've told me that I can have those fans. So yeah, that's what they've told me, because those fans are still up, and they told me anything that's up I can take. So that's why I can tell you about those fans. So you might be seeing those in a few weeks here. But anyways, yeah, so I think that's about all I have to say about Minka. And the final thing I want to say is they definitely do follow trends pretty well, and that's awesome. They've got a whole bunch of different windmill designs, and only really Minka and Quorum branch out with tons of windmill designs. And I would say both of those manufacturers I've just mentioned definitely also have my favorite windmill designs. But yeah, I think that's about all I've got to cover here. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, because in the next part I'm going to be talking about modern forms and the Quorum companies, both Quorum and Oxygen, and I guess technically Cyan Design as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll see you later. Goodbye.